Choosing a lighting product is often secondary in the lighting design process. What we'll do is we'll go through a design and we're talking about light. We'll create a concept for the lighting scheme. We will work through it and we'll be talking about whether or not we want linear washes of light, we want focal points of light. And then what we do is we go back through that. Once we've got it agreed with the client and they like our ideas, we'll go back and we'll work out how we're going to do that within a space. First, we're going to decide if we want a focus light over a table, are we going to do it with a pendant? Are we going to do it with a wall light, with a recessed spotlight, with a track, with a surface mounted spotlight? And then at that point, we think about how we want that light to fall onto that surface. So then we're thinking, right, well, we need a narrow beam spotlight to put the light onto that surface. And then we start looking around what product can we get which is narrow beam, which has the right color temperature, the right dimming that we want to use in the project, the right lumen output to create the amount of light that we need within that space. And that often narrows down our selection dramatically because there's quite a lot of parameters that we're working within. And then we start looking at aesthetics of light fittings. We start looking at what's going to be in keeping with the interior design and the architecture of the space, and really making it probably as discreet as possible. A lot of the time we're trying to build lighting in, trying to conceal it, hide away the light fittings themselves. So can it be built in, can it be plastered in? And then we work from that. So that's how we go looking for light products. We spend a lot of time looking through different products, looking at samples. We try to go to exhibitions to see how those light products perform and really determine, are they suitable, are they going to give us the light source that we want. So that's the other way, bordering the horizons.
The lighting product you use is going to be determined by the functionality of the space. So you need to kind of think in big general terms of what's the space for, and then go backwards to find a fixture that does that purpose. So you might want to put light on a wall, in which case you'd be looking at a wall washer, or you might want to light up a cove decoration, around the perimeter of the ceiling, in which case you'd be looking for some kind of linear, maybe bendy fixture. You might want downlighters. So the function of what you're trying to do is going to direct you to the type of fixture you need to choose, and that will narrow it down for you. I think it's also a good idea to look at other people's past projects and photographs and find examples of techniques that you like and you want to use in your scheme. Use that as a kind of lookbook, as a concept. And also fashions change as well. So it's quite a good idea to keep an eye on any award ceremonies that are happening and look at those award-winning projects and see, what techniques did the designers use, and if you can put them into use in your project.
I'm still constantly amazed at how many times I go to a concept meeting, like a first meeting, and the architect or interior designer or other members of the team start talking about products. At this point in the process, let's talk about what we want to achieve first. I think choosing a product is really easy if you know what you're trying to achieve. Our process is sort of narrative based, and concept is really important. Once you've worked that out, you then can work through, well, we want it to do this, but these are kind of the criteria that we're going to use to say whether it's right or whether it's not. And if you were to sort of draw that as a flowchart, it then makes it very easy to refine what products you need.
What do you want that product and the light coming out of that product to do? You can do some research in different products. Why not give manufacturers a call to find out if you can't read the technical data sheet or describe your application, and then mock-ups. It's always super helpful. It's important to test the light and the behavior.
Well, this is why lighting designers exist, I think, because most people don't know how to choose a lighting product. Obviously, there's a phenomenal amount of information on the internet and high street people like Arcaya have got better at educating the consumer about what lighting products to use. But essentially, if somebody is going to do, a large project, the expertise of a lighting designer or a lighting manufacturer is kind of unbeatable, because LED has meant that products are so much more complicated, and there are so many different variations of a product in terms of, the types of gear you can get, or the types of LED within it. Really, I believe that professional help is unbeatable.
We are kind of overwhelmed by the offer of the lighting market, but there are a few things that I tend to take in consideration. For example, on a manufacturer point of view, if that product is reliable, if the manufacturer has been proved with a good service, if I can trust that specific product and supplier, which is very, very important. There is no product that I believe all my colleagues will use over and over and over. It's a continuous study and learning for us of what is new there and what we could use. It's also important to understand that for some projects, for example, if they're overseas, if they're in the US, we might have to use different products for projects that are in Europe. So you really need a distributor in certain location, because that distributor is going to have to protect your spec and support you all the way down to project completion. So it's really important for us as a designer to work closely with you guys as a manufacturer. As much as we can do as a designer before the projects get handed over. We need your help, the manufacturer help, the project manager, the electrical contractor. Everyone has to work closely to get that perfect result.